am Dr. Amarjeet Kaur. I am Professor of Accounting and a Certified Management Accountant from IMA USA. I am working with Gurugram University at Department of Management as Professor and Dean of Faculty of Commerce and Management. I have 28 years of experience, about 29 years now, and have authored about 50 research papers and 8 books. I am very excited to be here to discuss a topic on bank reconciliation statement. So this particular topic is in continuous format, which means we have already covered this topic in the previous 2 sessions, and this is a third session dedicated on this topic. So we are having an objective to help you learn how to prepare bank reconciliation statement when the debit balance of the passbook is given. Alright, so that is the agenda for the this particular session, part number 3 of bank reconciliation statement. So friends, let's have a look at the format of bank reconciliation statement. You may have seen this particular format in the previous lecture on this. So same particular format is present here again for the purpose of a quick review and remembrance. So as we know, the bank reconciliation statement should have a title at the top saying bank reconciliation statement for a XYZ company, ABC company, Messrs XYZ. So whatever the name of the business firm is given, that comes at the top in the title, followed by the date on which we are preparing the bank reconciliation statement. For example, it could be 31st March, it could be 20th March, it could be 15th March, 15th January, any date. So as on a particular date, whatever the date is there, or a business is required to prepare the bank reconciliation statement, so we put the date in the second line of the heading itself. Then we have 3 columns. The first column is meant for particulars. In this we put the detail of the transactions which have been ignored, omitted, have been recorded by mistake. So whatever is the nature of the item pertaining to bank reconciliation statement, that particular detail is been put in the column particulars. We may like to rename it as details. So any name, any title, any word can be used. So particulars or details. The purpose is that we are going to put the detail of the transaction which has affected imbalance between the passbook and the cash book, right? The second column we have which is regarding the plus items. Plus item will depend upon what is the beginning point. Either I am beginning with the bank balance or I am beginning with the passbook balance, right? So since in the last 2 sessions we have discussed how to prepare bank reconciliation statement when debit as well as credit balance of cash book is given, and today we are planned to discuss how to prepare bank reconciliation statement when debit or credit balance of a passbook is given or the bank statement is given, right? So if debit balance of passbook means a negative value, so that will go in the minus item, and if we have the credit balance of the passbook, that will go in the plus item. So this particular column number 2 and number 3, minus item or the plus item, will depend upon either the debit balance is given or the credit balance is given. As I said, agenda of this particular half of the session is to talk about when debit balance of the passbook is given, and debit balance as you know means overdraft facility. So we are going to put the debit balance of the passbook in this format in the last column, which is minus column, minus item, right? So that is a clarification that you should not be making a wrong beginning. If we make a wrong beginning, the whole solution, the whole case, whatever you are solving or you are working at is going to be wrong. So it's very important to understand that the bank passbook credit balance means positive balance and debit balance means negative balance, means you have the overdraft facility. Okay. So, once we have discussed this format, the next thing is you just just to help you understand, there are total 4 different scenarios. 2 scenarios have been covered in the previous session, and today we are discussing the third one in this session, and the 4th one we will be discussing in the subsequent talk today itself, right. So, third means when debit balance of passbook is given. So, debit balance of passbook is given means I have consumed more whatever I have deposited in the bank as a firm, as a business, as an individual, if I have the overdraft facility, right. So, I am going to take that particular balance which is given in the question or in the case in the minus column in the debit side of the bank reconciliation statement. Okay. So, question comes in, do we have the same treatment to the items as we did when the debit or credit balance of cash book is given? The answer is no. The treatment to items, various items which affect your balance of cash book causing disagreement with the balance of the passbook, there are many items, but the treatment would be entirely reverse now. In the previous 2 sessions we have discussed this treatment. So, which means if I am saying entirely reverse means whatever we were adding previously when the debit or the credit balance of the cash book was given, now is going to be subtracted, and whatever we were subtracting in the previous sessions while preparing the bank reconciliation statement with the help of debit or credit balance of cash book is going to be added, right. So, the items are same, the possible scenarios of causing 2 balances to disagree are same, but when we were starting with the cash book balance, we were putting items into subtract and the add columns, whereas the same thing is going to be done here again, but whatever was subtracted when we begin with the cash column is going to be added in the BRS, the bank reconciliation statement, and whatever was added is going to be subtracted while preparing the BRS when the passbook balance is given. So, this is the most important thing, because I have seen students, I have seen people committing mistake, and that happens because we do not have clarity that why we are not supposed to add it if we were adding when preparing the BRS with the cash book balance. The reason being, if I am starting with the passbook balance as is the case in this session, we are supposed to reach out to the balance as per cash book, right. So, I will begin with the passbook balance, and at the end when I have made all the adjustment, my ending result of this process would be my balance as per cash book. So, you are reconciling while beginning from the passbook and reaching out to the cash book. In the previous 2 sessions, we were starting with the cash book and we were reaching out to the passbook. So, that is the difference, and that is why the treatment is entirely reverse. Okay. So, please have this clarity in your mind. This will help you to avoid any mistake while solving any problem. Okay. So, now let us discuss those items. The first item which we subtract is checks issued but not presented. So, we as a business have issued few checks to somebody and the person has not presented yet, which means that your balance in the bank account is higher what it should be. So, you have to reach to the balance as per cash book. So, you need to reduce the balance in the passbook because the beginning balance is passbook balance, right. So, that is why we should be subtracting. This is the logic behind. The second item which we subtract is the interest credited by the bank. So, bank which has given you some interest, has paid in your account and which you are not aware. So, this is an additional item, a plus item which bank has added to your passbook, but you are not aware. You have to reach to the cash book balance. So you need to reduce it because you never recorded in the cash book, right? Third item, which is direct deposit by any customer, you are not aware. Somebody has deposited in the bank. Bank has given you credit. Your account balance is up by this amount, but your cash balance is lesser than that amount. So you are going to reduce it. That's why it is now subtracted. Okay. The fourth item which we subtract is the interest or the dividend which the bank has collected on your behalf. You have not recorded in the cash book. So you shall be reducing the passbook balance because your purpose is to reach the balance as per cash book. Alright. The last item which generally, so there could be some other exceptional item, but the last item which we subtract from the passbook balance to reach out to the cash book balance is the checks which are deposited in the bank and are omitted to be recorded in the cash book. So you deposited in the bank and you could not record it in the cash book because you did not remember that. So this is going to be subtracted, right? Now we shall be discussing what are those items or different transactions in fact which are going to be added when the beginning balance of passbook is given, and especially the debit one. Okay. So the first item which we add back is the checks which were sent to bank for collection but are not credited. So why would you be adding back? Just think about it. You had sent checks to the bank for collection, right? And bank has not given you credit. Okay. So it means you are going to add this item. The next is check sent to bank for collection but dishonored. So we sent few checks to bank and bank has dishonored, right? So your balance, you are going to add back this item in your in your BRS statement. Any direct payment by the bank. Bank has paid made some payment. So your balance has gone down, which you were not aware. Your cash book balance is up by that amount. So you are going to add back that amount because you want to reach the balance as per cash book. Okay. The fourth item which we add is the direct interest or direct commission which has been charged by the bank. You are not aware, you did not reduce the amount. So you are going to add back, you are going to adjust this amount. So any direct interest charges you would be adding back to the passbook balance so that you reach as per the cash book balance. The last item which we add is the checks which were issued but were omitted completely by you to be recorded in the cash book. So you have issued some check, it has been paid by the bank, you did not remember to record in the cash book. So you are going to add this item as well because your cash book balance is actually lower by that amount. Okay. So now after having discussion on all the items which should be added or subtracted, the next thing is we are going to take up a small case to understand how to actually prepare a bank reconciliation statement when the debit balance as per passbook is given. Alright, this is important. I am putting emphasis on the debit balance or as per passbook. You need to pay attention, is it debit balance or credit balance? Number one, is it as per cash book or is it as per passbook? The whole treatment varies. That's why I am covering them in total 4 sessions because these are the 4 different scenarios and we are covering one by one all the 4 scenarios, and today we are discussing at this moment the 3rd scenario. Okay. So as per this case, from the following information supplied by Messrs. Satnam, prepare his bank reconciliation statement as on 31st March 2021. So bank overdraft as per passbook is 26,500. It is given to you. The second statement says checks worth rupees 18,750 were issued but yet not presented. Alright. The third point is checks for 20,500. They were sent for collection and have not been cleared by the bank. So you did send some check to the bank, right, and bank has not cleared it yet. It means your passbook balance is not gone up by the amount, whereas in your cash book you would have already added that amount. So your balance would be higher by this amount, and we need to reach out to balance as per cash book. Okay. So the fourth item is checks worth 20,000 were recorded in the cash book but not sent to bank for collection. So you recorded it and you are assuming that your passbook balance is up by that, but it cannot go up since you did not deposited those checks with the bank itself. So you need to make an adjustment. You need to reconcile this transaction. Okay. Then at number 5, a customer deposited 13,500 directly into bank. So somebody has paid into your account directly, which you were not aware. So what will happen? So it's going to increase your balance as per passbook, and your balance as per cash book is lower. So you need to reach to the balance as per cash book, right? So the last item in this case is that bank has made a charge of 1200 rupees and they have debited your passbook. Okay, so your passbook balance is down by 1200, which you are not aware. So your cash book balance is higher by 1200. Alright, so we are just using a common sense. Don't get confused with the language, just be sure. Put yourself in the place of Mr. Satnam in this case. Put yourself, whosoever name is given, whichever company name is given. You just think that this is your account and what will happen if I did not remember the check. Just take it very much like as this account belongs to you. And believe me, solving the case will not be problem if you think like this. Okay. So now coming to the solution part. There are 2 more transactions before we reach to solution. So number 7 is that life insurance premium of Messrs Satnam rupees 11,980 has been paid by the bank on the standing invoice. It's a kind of standing instruction. So this is a personal expenditure of Mr. Satnam, but the bank has paid from the account 11,980. So what will happen? Bank has paid means your bank balance has gone down by this amount and your cash balance is up by this amount. Accordingly, we will make an adjustment. Then the next and the last transaction is bill rupees 30,000 which was discounted with the bank in November has got dishonored. On which date? On November 2020, and the noting charges of 1,000 paid by the bank. Once the bill is dishonored, there are certain charges which require to be paid, and even those charges are paid by the bank, and bank has already given you 30,000, mind you. So in total, bank has now spent 31,000 on you. Okay, so this is the last transaction, and you did not record it, of course, because noting charges are not, and earlier this was discounted. And with this data in our hand, we are supposed to prepare bank reconciliation statement under a situation when debit balance as per passbook is given. Alright, so let's learn how to solve this case. So friends, as we know, the format has 3 columns. It has heading. So accordingly, you can see in the screen that we have at the title bank reconciliation statement for Messrs Satnam as on 31st March 2021. Okay, so date is given, name of the company or name of the firm is given. It is Messrs Satnam, means it is a firm, and we have put this. Then we have 3 columns: particulars, plus item and minus item. So now the beginning point, that is the most important point. The question has begun that the debit balance as per passbook is 26,500. Okay, so whenever we have debit balance given as per passbook, we should be putting it in the minus item, because this is an overdraft facility. You have consumed more than what you should have, which means your passbook is showing a negative value. So you do not have actually any money with the bank deposited by you at this moment. You have consumed more than what you have ever deposited, right? So friends, please be very, very careful that if the debit balance as per passbook is given, we should be putting it in the minus item. Had it been the credit balance as per passbook, we would have started with the plus item. We would have put this amount in the plus item. Okay, so this 26,500 debit balance as per passbook will go in the minus item. Now coming to the transaction. The first transaction, as we know, was that checks have been issued but have not been presented yet. Okay, so we are going to take up this check amount because we have issued check and somebody has not presented. So if you have issued, what would you have done? Just think from your personal perspective. Let's say I have issued a check to my any employee, to my staff. So if I have issued check, means I have already written in my book, my cash book as a business, that this amount has been paid to XYZ. Okay, and I would have reduced the amount from my bank column of the cash book. But since the gentleman has or the woman has not presented the check in the bank, my balance as per passbook is higher. Okay, and since I am beginning with the passbook balance and I am supposed to reach to the balance as per my cash book, I am going to reduce it. Okay, so that is why this is the logic that this 18,750, the check you have issued as a business, has not been presented yet. You are going to reduce it by putting it in the minus column. The next item, thus after the balance, after first transaction, the second transaction was that checks were deposited but not collected. Amount was 20,500. So you have deposited check, you as a business. So Satnam Messrs here, they have deposited 20,500 in the bank and bank has not collected yet, right? So what will happen? Your balance as per passbook is lower, but your balance as per cash book should be higher because you have deposited and you are assuming. So you are going to add this in the passbook balance to bring it to the level of the cash book. So we are going to put it in the plus column, right? Then the next transaction which is given is check recorded in the cash book but not sent to bank for collection. So you have recorded this check in the cash book but you did not deposit in the bank, which means your cash book balance is higher. So your passbook bank is lower, passbook balance is lower. You need to bring the passbook balance to your cash book balance, close to or at par with the cash book balance, right? So your passbook balance is lower by 20,000. So what will you do? Yes, you will add this. This is the logic. I hope you are getting it. Since I recorded in the cash book, I did not record in the passbook because bank did not record in the passbook because it was never deposited. So we have to bring the passbook balance at par with the cash book balance, and that's why we are going to add this up. The next item given was that customer deposited directly into the bank. 13,500 was the amount. And why I am showing it in the minus column? Because your cash book balance is lower by this amount and you need to bring the passbook balance at par with the cash book balance. That's why we are going to reduce this amount by putting this in the minus column. Okay. Then we have bank charges debited in the passbook, 1200. So your passbook balance is lower, but your cash book balance is higher. So you need to bring the passbook balance to the cash book level. So you will add this. That's why the 1200 amount is in the plus column. The next item was that premium has been paid by by the bank on your instruction, 11,980. We will add it. Why? Because my passbook bank balance is lower, my cash book balance is up. You were not aware. So you will bring the passbook balance to the cash book balance. The last item was that your bill was dishonored and which was discounted by you earlier 30,000, but bank has charged you 1,000 as noting charges. So total 31,000 has been deducted from your passbook, but you have not reduced the balance in your cash book because you were not aware. So you have to bring the passbook balance close to the cash book balance. So you will increase the passbook balance, right? So that's why we are going to add up this 31,000 in the plus column. So now if we make a total of all the plus item and the negative items, 84,680 is my plus value, 58,750 is my negative value. The difference, the balance is 25,930, which is an overdraft balance as per cash book. We will write as unfavorable balance, which means it is a credit balance as per cash book, right? So I hope you could understand that how do we deal with the items of which are not agreeing to each other when a passbook balance is showing a debit balance and you have to reconcile it to bring it to the cash book balance. So this is how we prepare a BRS in this given situation. So thank you very much friends for being with me for the last 30 minutes. I hope you could comprehend the topic. Thank you.